Alright guys, so it appears recently people might not be loving CS2, and I understand that having to make a new config every month to play the game that you love, that's pretty stupid. And I also understand that, them removing CSGO is a little bit upsetting. But with all that out of the way, I'm going to talk about all of the good changes or good things that I've found about CS2. But this would hardly be a CS2 video without Clash.gg, the sponsor of today's video. Clash.gg has a ton of events with free rewards for those who sign up. Once you're in, there's a ton of different game modes to pick from, and once you're done with all that, you can head on over to the upgrader and see if you can upgrade what you've unboxed. Clash.gg offers a ton of different deposit methods, that being American banks, crypto, and CS2 and Rust skins. Remember guys, you can sign up for free, and there's quite a few ways to make balance for free, like the chat right here. Click the first link in the description, or the one in the pinned comment, or just use code TRIP. Thanks guys. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is the attention to detail that Valve gave when they added these weather effects to train. And the fact that I can even run effects like this at over 200 frames per second is kind of impressive. Valve made a lot of optimizations to make sure that this would be competitively viable. And with all that time spent on these optimizations, I wonder what other types of weather effects Valve is going to add in the future. And obviously there have been leaks in the game files alluding to Cobblestone getting a snowy remake. And past that, I'll just add speculation. They might add like a weather effect for autumn where it's like leaves falling off a tree. Who knows? Now the second thing I'm going to talk about is actually the reduced XP overload streak, and I just want to explain why I think this is pretty cool. Now in CS2 there's this thing called reduced XP. It's pretty annoying, and it basically slows down how much XP you can get after you've gained a certain amount of XP in a week. So if you want to get a lot of XP, you have to get to reduced XP every single week. Now if you've ever tried to get a high tier service medal, that being tier 4 or higher, that meaning that you would have to, go into the year with level 40, redeem your first level service medal on January 1st, and then play for reduced every single week in the year, then you would get purple. So it is nice to not have to have like an Excel spreadsheet to keep track of my XP in the video game. But anyways guys, with my 44-week unemployment streak out of the way, it's time to look at another reason why I enjoy CS2. And that is the Armory Pass. Now the whole time CS2 has been out, a lot of the people who are playing CSGO are saying they have no reason to play CS2 because there's no incentive to play CS2. And I sort of understand that until they release this actual money printer. No joke, since this thing came out, I've made about $800. That's just for playing the game, something I would have done anyways. Now, you used to get 40 stars per pass, but now you actually get 41 stars per pass. When you used to redeem a pass, it used to use one of your stars on the pass, but now it just gives you all 40 stars and an extra star for redeeming it. But yeah, I think the Armory Pass is a pretty cool way to reward players who actually bother with it. I think it is particularly interesting because, in a free market like this, where the prices are chosen by the players, that literally means that your playtime has a price tag, and that price tag is effectively decided by yourself and the people who really don't want to play the game. But anyways guys, the next thing that I kind of enjoy about CS2 are some of the new HUD features. Now, I don't really like the cards. I've made this clear in the past. I don't love the cards in the bottom. But I think stuff like follow recoil can be pretty good, especially when you're trying to learn how to spray in this game, which is not easy. And I do have hope that maybe they'll add some cosmetics for the HUD so that you can customize it to, your preferred liking. Maybe they'll add CSGO HUD, so you can just have the CSGO HUD in CS2. Wouldn't that be cool? And the next thing I'm going to thank Valve for is porting over specific movement exploits from CSGO. Valve has actually done a lot of work to make the game feel quite similar in nature to CSGO, including cherry-picking some select exploits to stay in the game. Now, there are some exploits like pixel surfs that Valve would prefer to not have in their competitive game. Although we have gotten pixel surfs in CS2 before, they have patched it almost every single time, so I have to imagine that that is not exactly what they're looking for when it comes to skill-based movement glitches. So basically what this means is that Valve not only ported B-hopping, but they also ported stuff like edge bugs, they ported stuff like jump bugs, and they ported stuff like the ladder glide all into CS2, actually before they shipped it on September 27th. Now that's about all the things that I like about CS2. If this video does well, I might make a video where I just talk about all the things that I hate about CS2, but that video might be a little bit longer than this one. But yeah, one honorable mention that I would just like to say, I do think CS2 is good for this reason, okay? They actually take just random community maps, okay? So they take community maps from people who aren't necessarily established mappers, which means that we could get some pretty cool maps in this game, okay? We could get some pretty cool maps, and I do hope to see that just coming through, because I always saw a ton of cool maps on the workshop on CSGO. We never got to play them. So hopefully they get added into the game this time around. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye. Just a replication because movement using Tyrion. I wish I could edit my
Call 1-800 new gens if you or a loved one is unable to. One hop with cheats in 2026.